some notes. I'm sending Thomas some pictures too, so you guys can see.
Yes.
I'm terrible at posting social media, so you guys can see it on this. But okay, so let's go through some of the notes, and I'll tell you, who said some of this stuff. Let me grab this. I can give them credit. All right. So should I use this, Thomas?
Okay. The battery died.
All right. So I thought this was good. Sell to survive, recruit to get free. Right? So a lot of times we shy away from talking to people about the recruiting opportunity because we think that they think it's going to, make them think something about our company, whatever. But at the end of the day, selling is to survive. But when you build a team, that's how you're going to get free. That's how I can work part-time and have this kind of income, right? Now, if I get back to work and work really hard, then my level of free is going to be even bigger, right? But I couldn't do what I did without my awesome team. Habits are the compound interest of success. So Bobby Go Cool said this. He's in Canada. And, if you develop, just like if you put in, they say a penny a day or $1 a day, or like we just showed right now, that compound interest example, if you put in $500 a month, it could become millions of dollars. Habits are the compound interest of success. If you do the right things every day, if you prospect every day, if you make calls every day, if you set appointments every day, if you read every day, all of this stuff will compound. It'll help you get what you want. These are some of the things that I wrote down. This is Bill Whittle said this, and it sounds like a Bill Whittle type thing, right? If you know him, he's one of the biggest influences in my life. He says, what do you want your team to look like? So if you think about it, you have to envision, okay, when I have a team, when I have a big team, what do I want them to look like? But he said, you also have to think, but what does your team want their coach to look like? A lot of times we don't think about that. You want a coach who's encouraging. You want a coach who's going to pick up their phone. You want a coach that's positive. You want a coach that's going to show up. You want a coach that knows how to produce. You want a coach that knows how to get results. You want a coach that has a track record. You got to become those things, because just like you want to recruit people, people want to work with a certain type of coach. I thought that was really good. He said, if you don't care about being relevant, you care about being irrelevant more. Obviously, this is a more elite group, right? So you're not going to say this like I'm saying it in a Saturday training. I'm just telling you what I heard, right? This is what he said. If you don't care about being relevant, you care about being irrelevant more. Glenn Williams, he said, let's look at the definition of a champion: a person who has defeated all rivals, a winner, right? So we want to be champions. You have that opportunity here. This is really good. Don't make permanent decisions in temporary situations. So if you're down, if you didn't do a lot of production, if somebody cancels, if someone doesn't show up, or if you're going through maybe a health issue or a money issue or a family issue, whatever it is, it's temporary. Everything is temporary, right? But if you quit or if you do something stupid, right, that is a permanent decision that you're making in a temporary situation. That's the way you got to think about it. Everything is temporary. You got to get through. What's that old cliche? Tough times don't last. Tough people do, right? You got to be tough. You got to get through it, right? Andrea said this. I thought that was really good. She also said, I'm not for sale. People are being really creative. They get the whole list of everyone who's licensed in a state, and they just start bombarding them with those emails. You guys get them. Hey, do you want to sell insurance for us? Call us about our comp plan. Do you want to switch companies? And when you get to my level and you have some savings and people know, everyone's always approaching you for opportunities. And she said, look, I'm not for sale. I do Primerica. I'm here for my Primerica team. And I'm not doing anything else. So I thought that was really good when she said it, right? Someone said, how do you retire from a purpose? The reason why people in Primerica just keep going and keep showing up to meetings, and even if they're not doing a lot of work, they love coming to the meetings and winning stuff and doing all these things, because it's not just for money. Someone said this to me at the trip. They said, because we were talking about someone who's no longer here, and they said, this is a good one, and Sheila, you'll like this too. If they come for the money, they're going to leave for money, right? If you come for money, you're going to leave for money. We have a bigger purpose here. I'm not just here for the money. I'm here because someone showed me the light, and I want to show other people the light. Someone helped me transform. I want to help other people transform. Yeah. And yes, I want to make a lot of money. I'm not shy about that. I'm all about money. I want to make big money. But the way I want to make it is through helping people change, through their financial plan, through their Primerica opportunity, right? When we have a winning team, Keith Otto said this, we attract better players. That's why we want to be number one. You know, I used to recruit so many people in college because while I was in college, I was in Primerica, and I would be like, hey, look, we're going to Hawaii, and look who's number one. I used to show those kids in school that I was number one in the Hawaii contest. I recruited people that way. People who see me on stage, they want to be on my team. People see me do trainings, they want to be on my team. You got to do that. We got to get back to being a top organization, because when we have a bigger, better winning team, we attract better players. Keith Otto also said that resistance will help you lift off, because he has his own plane and he actually flies it. And he says, you know, when you land into the wind and you take off into the wind, because the wind actually gives, if you know, like Dante knows, if you know the physics and the science behind taking off, the wind gets under the wings, and that's what gives you lift. So a lot of times we get resistance and we think that it's supposed to get us to stop moving. No, that's liftoff, right? That is going to help you. And 2 down, if you press it twice, right? He says a plane has to move eventually to take off. So remember that. You have big goals, you want to take off, you got to move. Yeah. Today after, don't say Monday, today after training, after all this good stuff, set appointments, get your list, make your calls, do what you need to do, set up your week, right? This is good. It's just you know, I'm sure it's a little, if you go back, it's a little phrase I thought was good. Put a comma, not a period, right? With a comma, there's continuation. With a period, the sentence is done, right? Let your story continue. It's okay. Put a comma, not a period. Nothing permanent. It's temporary. I think that was a good way to say it. Jeff Mallard, right? You're friends with him, Jen, right? He said, operate this as a business, not a hustle, right? So when you have a hustle, you kind of do it when you want to do it. It's just something that you're doing on the side, but run it like a freaking business. That's what he said about your Primerica business. He said, don't get too low or too high on yourself. This is the thing you learn as a leader and in emotional intelligence. Like, you're not going to see me like jumping off the walls, and you're also never going to catch me being super, super low either. You have to be a little more even keel. Sometimes when people call me and they're overly excited, it kind of worries me a little bit, because if you get that high, then I know you're getting pretty low as well. And he said that here. He said, self cannot change self. It has to be something outside. And in higher level self-improvement, when you read about meditation and things like that, they say changes can never be made in your current state of mind, right? You have to change your state of mind through however method people use, prayer, meditation, whatever. So he was talking about this in regards to the convention. He's saying, look, the way you are now, you're not going to be able to change yourself. It has to be something outside. We got to get to that convention, and we got to get those outside forces to come in, and that's how we're going to be able to change. This is good. Peter Schneider said this. He said, every third person you speak to right now in America is thinking about starting their own business. It's never been higher, the amount of people who are interested in being entrepreneurs. So go out, talk to people. They're already thinking about starting their own business. Whitney Cooper said this. She's like, look, I don't know what's going on in the news. I don't know what's going on in sports. People talk about breaking news. I'm talking about breaking records. People are too caught up in headlines and what's going on in politics. You know, I said this to my mom the other day, because everybody's on Team Fox News or Team CNN, right? And it's so dumb. And I told my mom, I said, you know, before any show comes on or anything, it's a business. They get together as a company and they say, what's going to get the public hyped? What can we do to get them the most angry, the most excited, right? It's a business, guys. It's a TV show. They are entertainers. They don't believe half the stuff that they're saying. And if you watch that stuff and you get that consumed in it, you are just that. You are a consumer. Yes. You are literally a customer that is eating all of that crap that they're telling you on both sides. And she said, Shaq, some people talk about breaking news. I'm talking about breaking records. That's what's going to change your life, not Fox News and CNN. I'm not choosing sides. I'm just saying that's the media's job, right? Is to get you hyped. They're trying to figure out a way to say it and do it and display it in a way that kind of, you know, it gets you into it, right? It gets you emotional. And Neil Gerfine always says this. A lot of people on the West Coast say this. They say it's not trade-offs, it's sacrifices. Neil Gerfine, I had a long conversation with him as well, one-on-one. He's a $2 million earner, all passive income. He's about to have 3 people that he's trained to $1 million of income direct to him when Myrna and Juan go over. And he says, Samir, you already know everything. I've known you for a long time. You and Shaq, as he knows me and him, are like brothers, right? He's like, your business IQ is there, but if you want to get to that next level, he said, what are you willing to trade off? And he didn't ask me to tell him. He said, that's just something you want to think about. So maybe I don't want to be traveling as much as I travel, right? Maybe I don't want to be doing whatever it is that I do that's taking away time from the business. So if I want to get to the next level, don't look at a sacrifice, just a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off. It's not something I'm going to lose forever. It's just something that I'm going to trade off temporarily because I'm gaining more success, gaining more income, gaining more teammates. That's the way we look at it, right? Let me show you guys. I don't know if it downloaded. I'll show you some of these pictures here. Hawaii, as some of you guys know, if you know me for a long time, it's my favorite place to go. A lot of people travel internationally. I don't do that. I've never been to Europe. And I know I'm missing out. I know those are great places. Never been to Europe, never been to Asia, never been to Africa. So there's many other places that I can go. But when the time comes to make a decision, I love choosing Hawaii. So, you know, when you go to a really nice hotel, they have an awesome lobby. So the ocean is right there. You walk up, there's water, there's trees everywhere. So I always take a picture of the lobby. This is an awesome beach that's in Maui. You know, you have the mountains in the background. This is another picture of the lobby here, right? So everywhere you go, it's just those huge mountains and volcanoes and palm trees. Really, really nice places. This is every day. They talk about a Hawaii sunset. You're just kind of, you know, having a little snack at the pool, and this is what you're staring at, which is really, it really is a dream, you know. Everywhere you sit, it's just ocean everywhere, always sunny this time of year. You have the volcanoes and the mountains. These pictures don't do it justice. I mean, these are bad pictures actually coming up on here. You know, you just hang out. Let's go next. This is what the beach looks like. This is the place that Primerica, that was the place I was at. Here you can see the mountains, the ocean, $20 million houses. This is the beach with the mountain in the background. It's just like overload to your senses. You just can't believe what you're looking at. It really is world class. You know, this hotel that Primerica put us in, it's $2,000 a night. You know what I mean? Like, even everybody that was staying there, they're like, yeah, we may switch to a different hotel if they wanted to stay extra, because it's so expensive to stay at these places, you know. You have pool, you have ocean, you have mountain, you have palm trees. You just can't stop staring at that stuff. You know, the sunsets are really unbelievable. So standing at the terrace, you see 3 pools, different levels. You have golf courses, you have ocean. Awesome. Cool. So guys, what do we need to do? We need to focus on licensing. We need to focus on winning, because that attracts bigger and better players. We got to get on it on a week-to-week basis. Shaq and I have been talking about this. The theme needs to be, I got to get 3 sales, right? I got to get, 3 recruits on my team, and I got to get 3 sales on my team, because that way, at a very minimum, I'm doing 10 by 10. Even if you don't have a team, if you're doing 10 by 10, again, you're going to survive, right? And you're on your way to getting free. So licensing, having a weekly focus. What else, Shaq? And win these trips, man. Anybody? Right now, we have a new one going on for Broadmoor, where they're going to take us to an awesome location in Colorado. That's a 5-star resort. If you like zoos, there's a zoo that's on the mountain there behind the hotel, one of the best zoos I've been to. But win the trips, man. And then you get to meet these people as well. So I think we're good with Zoom. Thanks for everybody plugging in. And I'll bring Shaq back up.
Sets of appointments, got applications